We're here for one of the biggest moments of our career. We're doing the double, the Coke 600 and the Indianapolis 500. Hello everybody, welcome back to a NASCAR Heat 5 Career Mode episode, a brand new one here with Travis Pastrana and Austin Cindric joining us in the part-time club this weekend as we have the number 8 Target Patriotic scheme on the car for this weekend, ready to get this double weekend rolling as we take on the track. And this is going to be a really exciting episode. It's going to be a lengthy episode, so maybe grab a snack, a drink, and settle in. It's going to be like probably close to 50 minutes by the time this thing is over, but I hope you guys are ready for non-stop racing action. The Indy 500, we're going up against fellow NASCAR drivers of Kyle Larson and Kyle Busch, but Formula One's Max Verstappen competing in the Indy 500 as well, now that race does not collide alongside the Monaco Grand Prix. So that is going to be one heck of an event on the way. And then after that, we have the Coke 600, a crown jewel that we have yet to win in our Cup Series career. We've only got one crown jewel under our belt. That is the Daytona 500. One of my goals this season with JRM is to win all the crown jewels I haven't won. So this is the first one, the Coke 600. I want to win as well the Brickyard 400 from Indianapolis and the Southern 500 from Darlington, as I was quite happy with the pace in practice. It kind of felt like my typical Charlotte car, so I was really not sure how the race was going to go. It can really go any direction. IndyCar side of things, qualifying, Max Verstappen would go pole position until I took the track in the Target cars racing for Chip Ganassi, and we would find very unexpected speed, maybe with some help from some cloud coverage on my lap, but I would do the unexpected and go pole position and make it of myself and a Max Verstappen front row for the Indy 500. Larson and Busch a little bit deeper in the field. We'll cover them more when we get into that race. Now on the Cup Series side of things here from Charlotte in this beautiful Target paint scheme, getting our lap underway with a goal of a 29.522 on the run down into turn one. Want to get right against that paint there, that blue line as you come to the center of the corner. Of course, on the exit, we'll open up that wheel heading down the back straightaway and into turn three. Same thing, just get it right down to the paint and just be patient, but let it open up on exit down the front straightaway. We're going to be a little bit, I think, off the goal by about 0.2 of a second, and that'll put us P16 for the Coke 600. 4 stages, a long race. Not too concerned when we see a 16th starting position. We could qualify dead last and I wouldn't be concerned. On pole, Trackhouse's Connor Zilic over Kyle Larson, Elliott, as well as Christopher Bell, as well William Byron in the top 5. Last episode winner Ross Chastain just outside the top 5, and a bit of a rivalry might be brewing with Chastain between himself and I after we really went after each other a few times in Mid-Ohio, and he of course came out on top to get his first win of the season. And now it was time for Sunday, Indianapolis 500. Kyle Busch in the Menards machine. Actually, 2 drivers, of course, that are on the NASCAR side. Busch and Larson, there you see, driving for McLaren, while Verstappen is in a powered Red Bull car with Honda, and as we were ready to go racing with Chip Ganassi in the Target livery, we were leading the field on the run into turn number 1 for 50 laps of racing. The 2027 Indy 500 underway side by side with Verstappen, who's proclaimed as one of the best in the world, just like Kyle Larson, but we're trying to prove that maybe we're better than both of them as we head down through 1 and 2, and it's an early lead, but hold on, we've got some challengers already. Felix Rosenquist, and here comes Will Power. Verstappen contact in the back. Scott Dixon said the wall, he's already got damage and he's slow. As we go down into turn 3, backing out of that, Will Power goes through. He just announced it's going to be his final Indy 500 as I clip the wall. We've got several cars in the wall. Big names with big damage. Award, Pillow, and as well Nolan Siegel all into the outside wall, and I believe that's Scott McLaughlin as well on the opening lap. It's chaos for 4 names that could have won this race, including Scott Dixon. They're all out on the opening lap of this race. A wild and unexpected start to Indianapolis, and we were P4, and fortunately we did not really pick up any damage after we hit the wall and got going once again on the start of lap 5, immediately diving to the inside here of Jacob Abel. Max Verstappen down in P5, so we started P1 and 2 when we dropped to 4th and 5th after just a lap of racing, but we get the position right there on Abel. Felix Rosenquist leading the way, but Willpower, he announced in this week this would be his final Indy 500 race here, and here he is going for the lead into turn 3 on Rosenquist. He takes the position, and now everyone starts to settle in a little bit here as I was P3 just behind these guys now to start lap 6 of this race. A lot of racing to go, and Rosenquist understeers into the outside wall, and that's going to tear the right front off his car. We have to avoid that, and I believe that's going to bring out another caution. Yes, it will, and 2 cautions in the first 6 laps of this race. We have to avoid our first incident, and that would put us P2 for the next restart, where we would not be pitting. Of course, we were not quite in the fuel window yet, but I mean, wow, a wild start, and I feel like a lot of opportunities have opened up because some big names have crashed out. Dixon, Rosenquist, as well, Scott McLaughlin, Alex Pillow, Pato Award, big names that are all capable of winning this big race here now as we dive to the inside of Willpower, going head-to-head with a champion of the sport and an Indy 500 champion as well. As we dive into turn 3, he stays around the outside and maintains the lead, but with that slipstream we were able to fight back to the inside, but Power is just, well, able to overpower us on the outside, and I kept trying to make it work and it just wasn't quite happening, and I was having a problem with understeer, specifically in turn 3, and I would have to lift out of the throttle, and to a point where I unfortunately lost the slipstream and Power would drive away. He was almost a second per lap faster than the field. Meanwhile, Kyle Larson and Kyle Busch both running in the top 15. Kyle Busch just inside the top 10. As you see me actually clip the outside wall, but now you can see Willpower is just driving away. We're holding our own, doing well here in second, but the gap was coming down as we come to lap 18 of 50, and Jacob Abel is 1.3 seconds back. Max Verstappen 2.4 seconds back. So we are, of course, doing the best of the drivers that are doing a one-off race and the best that are doing the double as we come to lap 20 at this point, and Willpower has a huge lead as he's already into turn 1. We haven't even crossed the start-finish line. There's Verstappen, and just a little bit deeper in the field, just inside the top 10 was Kyle Busch right there. You see him in that Menards sponsored yellow and black McLaren. There's Kyle Larson just outside the top 10 behind one of the Primas. So overall, I mean, we're all holding our own pretty well, all running up in about the top 12, top 13, so you can't complain about that. But I didn't expect to roll into Indianapolis with such speed. Now Verstappen crashes, trying too hard to close the gap, and Verstappen crashes out. It's going to be day over for the 4-time Formula 1 world champion who comes across the nose of Connor Daly. It's a huge crash. Daly goes up and over into the catch fence, even clips out with the front nose, and I believe that's Marcus Armstrong, sorry, that catches a piece of it. Day over for Verstappen. Daly, a huge crash there, ignited by the Formula 1 world champ. And this would, of course, put us within the fuel window and bring everybody into the pits. So we pit from P2, actually nearly running into the back of Willpower. But for our first and only IndyCar race, I mean, I feel like we're doing an absolutely fantastic job here running P2. But we get 4 tires on and off the car, and you can see Power exiting. We go. It's going to be close, but Power's going to get us on the exit. We just stay ahead of Abel, and we run P2 on pit exit. So Willpower in control for a restart just about halfway through this Indianapolis 500, and the double has been treating us very well so far. Kyle Busch has continued to keep himself in good position and move forward, and it feels like a race of survival at one point in this race here. Now as we bring the fight to the inside again of Willpower, and we know the restart's the opportunity. He drove away by over 10 seconds when that caution came out for Max Verstappen. We clear Willpower for the lead. We're back out in front where we started. Now you see Busch in P9, Kyle Larson P12 there in the bottom right of the leaderboard that you can see. So Larson looking for a few more positions. cautions. Power understeering behind us nearly into the outside wall as he would continue to just stay put right there on our rear wing as we head down this front straightaway. A bit of a bobble there on the exit of turn 4, and we continue to fight, and even with clean air actually understeering in turn 1. I had been making some adjustments with the weight jacker, which is just a tool in IndyCar to kind of free up the car, kind of to explain it in NASCAR terms, and I had raised that weight jacker, which is what that will do. It will allow us to just free up a little bit, but unfortunately there was still some moments where it wasn't working, and Power right here again, right on the back of us, understeering, keeping it out of the outside wall, knowing that just a good hit to that outside wall is going to be your race over, your Indy 500 dreams over. But Power gets to my inside halfway through this race. He goes back to the lead, but can we fight back as we will be up a groove on the exit of turn 4, but back into the slipstream. We bring the fight back to the inside of the Penske driver, his final Indy 500. Certainly don't want to take him out in his final Indy 500, but we are still keeping it pinned side by side for the lead through 1 and 2. Who's going to lift first? It's going to be me lifting a bit there on the exit of 2. Power takes back over on the lead of this race. We continue to try and stick with him, but we face the same problem with the understeer, and over the next few laps, Power takes full advantage of it as I still find myself in a position of having to lift, and he would unfortunately be able to break that slipstream, and I would start to fade once again. And you can see the gap starting to open up here now with 20 laps to go in this race, and at this point I have a just over a second and a half gap on Jacob Abel that would continue to increase. Larson up to 11th, Kyle Busch up into P8. So still all three of us running very respectable races here, but we have been by far the best. Verstappen was running well until he wrecked himself out, but I was well off of Willpower at this point in the race, and just kind of accepting reality. He had again driven 11 seconds up the road. I've never seen a pace like this. I mean, he was just on a different level. Meanwhile, we were driving away from Jacob Abel, who was originally closing in on me at the time of Max Verstappen's accident, so that was a very well-timed caution at that point. Now as we come to 7 laps to go, the gap now 13 seconds to Willpower, 2 seconds to Jacob Abel now, and the caution, pace car is going to get rolling. The caution comes out for, I couldn't actually find anything that brought out that caution. So yellow comes out, and it's going to be a restart within the final 5 laps, and now we get another chance to win this Indy 500. I really can't ask for much more than that, an opportunity to go for this win. Willpower leads us back to green. It's 4 laps of racing here from Indianapolis. Do we have anything? How hard is Power going to defend? That's really the big question, as we'll follow him down into turn 1, trying to put some clean air on this front wing immediately now, and then switch over to kind of cross them through that dirty air and get back to the clean air, jumping back up a lane, get some clean air on us, and look at this, we're in the slipstream in the mirror. Here comes Jacob Abel as well. Don't rule him out in third. As we approach 3 laps to go, he's got a just massive run on us there into turn 3, and I'm going to go up a groove, and Abel's going to look to the inside. Hold on, we might have a new competitor. Hold on as well. You see the top, Abel's pitting. Abel short on feel, as it was close. It is pretty close on feel by a few laps, but Abel's going to box as we exit turn 4. And as well, I believe that we might have had another car come into the pits, but it didn't matter. Willpower drove away, and that was it. Final lap out of turn 4. Willpower in his final ever Indianapolis 500 comes down the front straightaway to win the Indianapolis 500, as we're going to come through second position, runner-up. You couldn't ask for much more. Kyle Busch, Kyle Larson up towards top 10s as well. Busch inside the top 10, Larson inside the top 10 as well, as he gets exactly P10. Now it's time for the Coke 600.
It's our second crown jewel of the season, and for a few drivers, their second race of today. Gary Owen, Kyle Larson, and Kyle Busch all scored top 10s in the Indy 500 earlier today.
Those 3 guys are brave ones, Mike. That Indy 500 is truly an incredible act of bravery every year.
How you feeling in there, Gary?
All good. Yeah, I mean, I think we're going to be in for a good race. Connor Zilish on pole, Busher and Hocevar to the back of the field. Engine change for the 17. Pre-race inspection failure for the number 4 Reese's Cadillac JRM teammate of mine, as we are set to go racing for arguably the longest race of the season. 4 stages here from Charlotte. Last time we came to this track, it was Christopher L winning the race and winning the championship. We're racing. Zilich leads with his Trackhouse Honda down into turn number 1. That 00 has shown up multiple times already this season. He's kind of been the standout at Trackhouse, although he hasn't won like his teammate of Ross Chastain. He has certainly shown some moments where he could potentially be a favorite to win some races, and trying to do the same here in Charlotte. 34 laps in stage at number 1. Like I said, 4 stages tonight. It's a long, grueling race on top of the race that we just did with the Indy 500. Myself, Kyle Larson, Kyle Busch, we've all got a long day ahead as we continue into turn number 1. It's been a wild start to the season. 11 races down complete, and we've had 3 super speedways and 3 road courses. That's almost 6 wildcard races in the first 6 rounds of the season. The first part of the season is very heavy loaded with some wildcard races. Once we hit this race right here, race 12, this will mark the halfway point through the regular season. The next half of this regular season is going to calm down in terms of wildcard races. You're going to certainly see, I think, the playoff grid really start to kind of sort itself out, but yeah, the first half of this regular season is certainly a memorable one, to say the least. We've won 2 races. Christopher Bell also has a pair of wins under his belt. Some surprise drivers who haven't won yet. Kyle Larson, of course, hasn't won since Canada last season. Chase Elliott has not been to victory lane as well. Kyle Busch, could you maybe consider him a surprise? But there's a lot of names we expect to win that haven't won yet. Ty Gibbs as well, another name that we expect to see in victory lane at some point. Connor Zilich, though, leading the way as we are to the inside of the Busch Light 99 of Kyle Busch here for P9 into turn 1. Ross Chastain, we mentioned it earlier, maybe a bit of a rivalry brewing with the Trackhouse driver. After his win in Mid-Ohio, we ran into each other and just really used each other up quite a few times in that race, and ended up fighting for the win on that final restart, which was a bit unexpected. Connor Zilich has driven away in just 6 laps. He's gone, and that 00 is showing some good speed. You saw into turn 1 right there, myself and Chastain actually collide a little bit now. Chastain ran about a groove up from what I expected, and we kind of ran into each other, and fortunately we at least stay clear of the 99, but we already talked about the potential beef here brewing with the 1 car, and it looks to be igniting a bit here today in Charlotte in just the first 10 laps of this race, as we both pass that Ally 19 of Alex Bowman, looking to be a bit off the pace here tonight, as both myself and Chastain run down that Microsoft 48 of Carruth. Now as I give a shot to the back of the 1, unsettle him a little bit here on the run into turn number 1. As you can see up in front, it's all Hendrick Motorsports, 7th, 6th, 5th. Carruth, Elliott, as well as William Byron. Kyle Larson a little bit further up the grid now, as we would get back in front of the 1 car of Chastain, and on the inside following me, former teammate and of course former Cup champ Ty Gibbs there, and that number 54 Eric Jones into the outside wall early on, tired out on the number 34. Caution comes out for your Daytona 500 winner. This puts everybody in the fuel window, so we are going to be pitting. Sometimes you see some weird split strategy, which doesn't make any sense. It looks like everyone's actually on top of things today, so no one doing anything stupid. We'll all pit. Jones is going to be done already for the day. A very short race for Eric Jones. We gain a spot in the pits over Chase Elliott. Move up to row 3, P6. Green flag back out here from Charlotte now. William Byron alongside us in that number 24. How about Connor Zilich, looking very strong in the early portion of this race. Tyler Reddick up here in the mix. Larson, Blaney as well. 23-11 looking good with the 23 and 45. The 11 of Corey Heim, as usual, buried a little bit further down the grid, but he's actually been moving forward. Speaking of moving forward, Joey Logano did not have a good qualifying effort here. He is into the mix as well. Looking to my left side, he's already up into the top 10. The Sirius XM54 gets clear on the exit of turn 4 of myself. He'll take P7. The short run in this car, definitely the weak point of this target number 8 Cadillac for Junior Motorsports this weekend. So we need to just be patient, and that's going to be the key. Contact with the 48 into the outside wall at a turn 2, and we cross back across the nose of the 1. Go figure, and he runs into the back of us now as we go into turn 3, and that was all on me. I just turned down, and Chastain does not leave us any room into turn 3, giving us the cold shoulder. But yeah, I mean, I just turned down into the 48. That wasn't 100% my fault. So not what I wanted to do, just what ended up happening, and we give up track position down to P14, just needing to be patient. And I feel like we're going to find ourselves around this one car all day. I mean, we continue to race with him. Kyle Busch, Christian Eckes right here in the mix as well, all for the top 10, but Chastain would clear them both and drive away while I was still locked in battle with these 2 guys now, and 3 guys as well, with Chase Briscoe in the 98 for RFK right here behind us now. Actually, another caution. Now smoke coming out of someone there, and the caution will fly for an engine failure. Didn't quite catch who that was. But Connor Zilic continues to lead, and now we'll all stay out and get ready for the green flag once again. A few yellows to kick off this first stage of this Coke 600, and we'll get back racing here with less than 10 laps to go on the stage. It's been pure dominance so far from the young Trackhouse driver of Zilic, who has just been dominant in these first 27 laps. No one seems to have anything for him. I was really happy about that caution, just because it was a reset. It gets me caught back up after we kind of gave up some track position and some time there with some mistakes. So now we got to get after it, and we're going to go for it into turn 3, taking it 3 wide with Eckes and Chastain into turn 3. Elliott all the way up on the outside wall right there. We'll get alongside that Kelly Blue Book Cadillac down the front straightaway. We would clear him into turn 1 and then make it 3 wide down the back into turn 3 with Logano and Gibbs as well into turn 3. Now new leader as well, Tyler Reddick. Zilic has gone down to 3rd position, as you can see up there in the mix as well. Reddick, Larson, someone else is up there as well. That was the 23 of Ryan Blaney who would take the lead. Zilic would get back down to the inside, and he was already working past the 45 of Reddick, and he would be currently running 3rd as Reddick would drop to 4th. Larson would take the lead from Ryan Blaney, and it wasn't long till Zilic was back to the front. He passes Larson with 2 to go on the stage as we have rebounded to a very solid 8th position. Certainly building my confidence for stage 2 as we now start the final lap of stage 1 to the inside of that 54 Sirius XM Toyota Camry into turn number 1. Carruth having a great night here in Charlotte. William Byron looking strong as well as we continue to fight door to door with this 54 down the back straightaway for the final time. It's all the Trackhouse 00 of Connor Zilic into turn 3. A bit of pressure from that number 5 Wawa Cadillac of Kyle Larson as he goes to the bottom. Zilic stays high. He's going to get the run off 4. Connor Zilic going to come through to win stage 1 over Larson, Reddick, and Blaney. We just barely get beat by the 54 of Ty Gibbs for 7th. We get P8 over Busher and Logano, rounding out the top 10 in the stage. We'll come into the pits. We got a little bit of damage to repair after hitting that wall after the contact with the 48. I do tighten up the car just a little bit. I noticed towards the tail end of that stage, the car was getting a bit free, so I wanted to certainly adjust to that. No change in the pits for us, so we maintain P8. Carruth does move up a spot over his teammate of William Byron. Green flag out for stage number 2 of 4 here from this Coca-Cola 600. We were runner-up in the Indianapolis 500. Kyle Busch ran P7. Kyle Larson ran in 10th. What are the finishing comparisons going to look like here for all of us in this Coke 600? Will we maybe run worse for wear because of just being tired, of course, from the Indianapolis race? I feel like we're going to be okay, but nonetheless, down this back straightaway following that Relay 24, you're going to see a new scheme actually on that 24 Celsius scheme that Sanok whipped up. That looks absolutely fantastic. I can't wait for you guys to see that on the car as we clear the 2 of Todd Gilliland, actually having a solid run. So we're right to the back of the 9 of Chase Elliott into turn 1. Zilic now has left the door open for Tyler Reddick to try and take the lead from the Trackhouse driver, but Zilic would maintain in front as I would maintain P10 behind that. Number 9, Travis Pastrana into the outside wall, right front tire down, and it's going to be the end of the night for him, and that brings out our 3rd caution for cause, including the stages. 4 cautions already in just the first 10 laps of stage 2 throughout this whole race so far. So no one pits because we're not in the fuel window, so we'll stay out and get ready to go back racing.
We're going green.
You hear the call, going green. We're back underway now as we approach lap 8 of 32 in the stage. Can anybody match what the 00 of Connor Zilic is putting up on the board? 25 laps to go in stage number 2. If this stays green, which, I mean, based off the trends so far, we're not going to stay green for very long. It's been a caution-packed start to this race, but, you know, we've seen caution-packed starts to a race and then it kind of strings out and we stay green, so it'll be interesting. But if it does stay green, we will see green flag pit stops because we only have 15 laps of fuel left in the car. So we clear Brent Cruz, who's having a great run in that 31 for RCR, the rookie, showing up here tonight in Charlotte as we go 3 wide again with Logano and Byron, not shying away from once again, like we mentioned before, embracing that aggression. Let's just get after it and make up those positions as quick as we can and as efficient as we can. We clear the 24 on the exit of 4. We'll take a 3 wide again with Busher, as well as the 48 of Caruth Busher, who started all the way at the back there after, of course, the engine change. Finds himself running top 10. So great speed out of that Fastenal Ford Mustang. Is tonight maybe the night where we see Busher end that season-plus long winless streak. I doubt it. Just doesn't seem like he quite has race winning speed here from Charlotte now, as we are most certainly marching our way through this grid now as we're right on the door of the number 9 as we exit turn 4, and it would continue. Elliott was not making this easy, but on lap 12 of the stage, we clear him through 3 across the nose, but actually that opens up the door for the 17 to get up my inside, and he would clear me through 1 and 2, so back down to P7 we would go, but Busher goes through into that 6th spot. Zilic continuing to run away. I follow Busher right up to the back of the 54 of Ty Gibbs. Now Busher is moving forward into the top 5, and I was just doubting the speed in that 17, but clearly he's proving me wrong within a minute, because I mean, he is moving away. As you can see, he drives away from me a little bit by a few car lengths, and I'll get caught in battle now with the 54, my former teammate of Ty Gibbs. Eventually though, we clear him on lap 18 into turn 3, up into P6 we go, and approaching now green flag pit stops. They're going to be coming up here momentarily. Zilic gone. No one seems to have anything for that 00 today. Now 13 laps to go. I was getting the call. Some cars are coming into the pits. Looks like the 17 may be taking a line to pit here in turn 3. Larson's in, and here comes Chris Busher as well. Zilic, the leader, stays on the track. I want to stretch this run out just in case. We've seen a lot of cautions today. I'm going to take the risk and stretch this run out. So Zilic pits from the lead, brings in Reddick, has actually cracked the wall on the exit of turn 4. Not doing myself any favors, but obviously we're going to stay out as long as we can, but we have hit a limit. We take the lead as Blaney pits, but now I've got only enough fuel to get back around in turn 3, and I actually start running out of fuel in turns 3 and 4. Fortunately, it's not really going to cost me time because I'm already here at the pits. Chase Elliott will pit behind us as well. If a caution comes out right now, we will trap a lot of cars a lap down, and we're going to get the caution. Smoke pouring out of the 22. Caution is out. The 22 of Logano blowing up, and there it is. Caution flies as we're in the pit lane. It's perfect. You could not have asked for a better scenario for us. We have trapped half the field a lap down, including the dominant car of Zilic, Larson, Reddick, Busher, Gibbs, Byron, Logano. Of course, he might even be done, not 100% sure, but nonetheless, we have maybe hit the jackpot. We are now leading, and the fastest cars of the night are trapped a lap down racing for the free pass. This is huge. Now, with the rate we're seeing cautions tonight, we might see quite a few of these fast cars get back on the lead lap, so we can't get too excited, but we've only got 6 laps left in stage 2, so we know that Larson and Zilic and Gibbs and those guys, they're fighting right now for the free pass, but we've still got some pretty competitive cars that stayed out a little bit longer like I did that are on the lead lap. Ryan Blaney's still on the lead lap. He was, of course, the one that pitted a lap before me. So Blaney, probably the quickest car on the lead lap. You see in my mirror, SVG, one of the drivers that benefited from that caution. Look at the 23, that Advanced Auto Parts Toyota Camry. Blaney has had a lot of speed this season, but he's had a lot of bad luck as well. He clears us and says, see you later. I had absolutely no defense on that 23. He just took the lead, checked out, said, see you later. I am out of here as we head down this back stretch trying to stick with him. It wasn't happening. Blaney would open up the gap in these final few laps of stage number 2. You got to feel for Connor Zilic, but wouldn't be surprised if he's about to get the free pass here. He's by far the quickest car. He should be able to get through traffic pretty conveniently now as we come through to 2 laps to go in stage 2, and I'm actually gonna get into the outside wall quite significantly, knock the right side off the car, and now that's gonna open up the door for some pressure from the 9 and others as I completely choked there. We were cruising for second. Now as we approach the final lap of the stage, we're under pressure as we exit turn 4. Here comes that number 9 to my inside. We cross the stripe, 1 lap to go in stage 2. Blaney is multiple seconds down the road as we go into turn 1. Koop as well in the mix now, but a contact with the 9. Elliott goes through, so does the 48 of Koop. As we exit turn 2, we might be able to get that 48 back, but he blocks down the back straightaway. Koop shuts the door, says no, and he again goes for the block in as well. A move on the 9 of his teammate of Chase Elliott. He'll go for P2, and out of turn 4 down the front straightaway, Ryan Blaney is going to win stage 2. I go to the outside of the 9. It's not enough. P4 in stage 2. Should have been second. We give up a couple positions and a couple points there, but no big deal. We'll pit, get some repairs. Free pass, not to Zilich. It's Larson. Where's Zilich? He's down in 25th. He got beat by Larson, Gibbs, Reddick, and Byron. That is surprising. We know he has the fastest car. He completely fumbled there.
To the green, driver.
Stage 3, not the last stage of this race. 4-stage race, of course, with the Coke 600. We're back racing and with 32 laps again. The question is, what can Zilich do? Kyle Larson's back on the lead lap, but he has to start all the way at the tail end of the longest line, so don't expect to see him be much of a threat here in stage 3, but he's certainly going to be a threat going into the 4th and final stage. But, I mean, this race with that terribly timed caution with the smoke pouring out of the back of the 22 of Logano, which did not end his race. Logano's still in this race. It completely flipped this race upside down. And Chastain, I didn't even know Chastain was on the lead lap. So Chastain's very much back in the mix here now as we're right to the back of him and to the inside as we get to the left side into turn number 1. Blaney, though, is poised to maybe go and win this race as long as the 00 is not on the lead lap. I expect Zilich to probably get back to the lead lap here by the time we get another caution, or if this goes green. But I mean, the trends tonight is this is not going to stay green. We have not really had a proper green flag run. Got into the back of the 1. He slides. I make a mistake into turn 3, and I'm going to wash up the racetrack just like the 1 did after I knocked him into the corner. He would eventually clear the 9, and I would fight to the inside of the 9 myself as we exit turn 4, moving up into the 4th position. Blaney leads over the next few cars, including, of course, the 48 of Koop, the 1 of Chastain, myself, and Elliott rounding out the top 5. Chase Briscoe up here in the mix as well with 26 to go in the stage. In both stages, we've seen a caution within about the first 10 laps of the stage. Will we see that again here in stage number 3? Like I said, cautions have by far been the trend here tonight. I mean, we just continue to see them come out, and we continue to fight with these guys. I mean, as the laps go on, we find more pace, and we get back into the mix to the inside of the 48 of Rajan Koop, and we will continue side by side with him all the way into turn 3 on lap 9 at this point. That 48 was not wanting to give this up. We're fighting hard for track position at this point in the race, and now lap 10 of the stage, and we're still side by side, and he actually might get back in front of us. He will clear us down this back straightaway, so Koop back through into P3 as he would now go to the inside of the number 1 of Chastain and clear the number 1. That was a bit surprising to see. It felt like the 1 car has a bit better car than the 48, but now we're going to follow suit here with this 48, and we've made it past lap 10 in the stage, so a new longest run to start a stage in what's been a caution-filled race so far. Now as we get in front of the 48 on lap 12 into turn number 1, Haley goes around in turn 3, running all the way at the back. The caution is out. William Byron free pass. It's not Zilich. Gibbs as well in front of Zilich. Just not working out for the 00. Everyone's going to pit here because we can make it to the end of the stage. We just got into second when that caution came out. So yeah, P2 will get ready, front row potentially here. Maybe even if we can get the lead on the pit lane over Ryan Blaney, that would set us up well, and that's exactly what we do. Back out in front, in control of the restart over that number 23. We know Ryan Blaney's going to be tough to beat though. Green flag is back out. We're about halfway through stage number 3. Connor Zilich has been getting a good amount of opportunities to put himself back on the lead lap as the fastest car here, but there's something just not going right with him in traffic. We always see when a car is as fast as that 00 in one of our career mode races and they go a lap down from a weird scenario like we've had tonight, they always get back on the lead lap really quickly with a free pass, and that is not happening with Connor Zilic. I mean, so far this is something I've not actually seen happen with a car of that kind of capabilities before, but Zilic has another half of stage to get back onto the lead lap, and if he's not on the lead lap by the start of the fourth and final stage, it's going to be game over for the 00, and honestly completely shocking as Koop takes the lead back. I hit the apron and slide, opens the door for Blaney to get clear, and we drop back to the third position, and Blaney wastes no time getting to the inside of the 48, looking to retake the lead of this race. Ryan Blaney is poised to win this Coke 600 and get his first win for Denny Hamlin and 2311 Racing. Now, you would see where he's running on the usual for these races, and as I say that, we got another caution. Nick Sanchez into the outside wall. Oh my goodness, another caution is out, and Connor Zilic is not on the free pass again. He's somehow dropped to 31st, and Ty Gibbs will get the free pass. What is going wrong with this 00 as we get ready for another restart? So Ryan Blaney is going to be in control over Koop and myself, and it's going to be 11 laps of racing to go in stage 3. It has been a Coca-Cola 600 that I have not experienced before ever in the 5 seasons of this career mode. It's just been caution, 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 a little bit of racing, caution, and a little bit of racing and the caution again. It's just continuous yellow flags here as we head down this back straightaway side by side with the 48 into turn number 3, and all these cautions have played against my strengths of this number 8 Cadillac. We really thrive, especially at Charlotte and a lot of tracks, on the long run as the tires wear, and unfortunately we're not getting a lot of opportunity to wear these tires out, and again Blaney would drive away. I'm in second. Chastain has repassed the 48. He's put himself back up into the third position. We have been surrounded by Chastain all race long. It's just like Mid-Ohio. We've run into each other a few times already, really been leaning on each other as we exit turn 2. Now less than 5 laps to go when we come back around for stage 3. Now at this point coming to 2 to go, and we have driven away from Chastain and all the cars behind us, and we have actually maintained the gap that Ryan Blaney pulled out to. So Blaney was not really driving away anymore. I was keeping it to about a second to 1.1 second range, and he wasn't really opening that gap up to the final lap of the stage, and you can see it's still about 1.1 seconds. Chastain, Koop, and Kyle Larson finally up into 5th after getting the free pass at the end of stage 2, but Ryan Blaney is unmatched right now on pace, but I think Larson's going to have something to say about that in stage 4. Now to the line, Ryan Blaney wins stage 3, P2 for us, setting us up well for stage 4. Does Connor Zilic get the free pass? That's the big question. He needs the free pass. It's not going to go to him. It's Tyler Reddick. Zilic is in 33rd. I have never seen a downfall like this for the fastest car by a long shot. He doesn't have just the fastest car. He has a dominant car, and he's running 33rd. He's not able to get the free pass against slower cars. I don't know what's going on, but I mean, certainly a learning experience, I think, tonight for Connor Zilic, because now, effectively, there's no way he can recover. We're going to get back racing for the 4th and final stage. It's about the same length as all the other stages. 32 laps to go, 33 laps, sorry, in this Coca-Cola 600. What an event it has been. What an episode it has been, from running runner-up to Will Power in the Indy 500. His final ever Indianapolis 500. He wins against myself, who goes runner-up against the likes of Larson and Busch in the Indy 500, Max Verstappen, who crashed himself out. We come into this Coke 600, and it has been a wild one. Several cautions now, and it all comes down to the final stage, and Chastain's going to force it 3 around the outside, 3 wide in the middle, Larson on the inside, Blaney and Koop trying to run away. Who's going to lift out of this one? It's not going to be me. Into turn number 1, we continue to lean on the 1, up the racetrack into the side, leaning on the quarter panel. Chastain, what a move it was. He completely caught me off guard and took advantage. We dropped down to P6 alongside my teammate of Hocevar, who would pass me through 3 and 4, dropping us down into P7 in front of the number 98 Fastenal Ford Mustang for RFK, Chase Briscoe there, but I would now follow my teammate of Hocevar to the inside of the 9 of Elliott, and the lead battle has heated up between the 23 and exactly who I expected. Kyle Larson, both drivers looking for their first win of the season. And Blaney, though, looking like he's got just a little bit more than the 5. He maintains the leads, gets back in front, and we are looking to get past Hocevar here with just 26 laps to go. It's Blaney, Larson, and then up towards the front you got Koop in third, and Chastain in fourth, and then another 2-car battle right here between Hocevar and myself. So it's 3 pairs of 2-car battles in the top 6. And as we lean on the 4 out of turn 4, Hocevar's not going to make it easy, but it doesn't make my life too hard. Byron as well working his way back up into the mix after getting back on the lead lap, but Kyle Larson now back out in front, but he would continue to swap with that 23 kind of back and forth for the lead of this race as we continue with 24 laps to go, and Larson still on front. Caution is out again, and it's going to be an engine failure. It looks like it's Bubba Wallace, I believe, there in the 28, and that is going to split strategy because it is very close on feel. This is going to spice things up. Surprisingly, the top 2 are going to stay out. Reddick stays out and others are staying out. They're going to stay out up front. We're going to pit for 4 tires and fuel. I'm confident we can make it. Oh, it's close. We're going to take 2 cans of fuel, 4 tires, and see what it looks like. So as we get ready for the restart, we drop to P9, 6 cars stay out, Reddick, Heim, Gilliland, but most notably, of course, the 5 and the 23 who were running first and second. Everyone behind the top 6, 7th on back, is going to have a 4 fresh tire advantage. 21 laps ago, we have 20 laps of fuel, so I see why they stayed out, because we pitted, we're a lap short. We will have to save a little bit to make it to the end, but we've seen so many cautions in this race, and we just got another one. I think we'll see another one that will allow us to make it to the end of this race. Now, 3 wide, down the back straightaway. We are racing potentially for the win right here with the 48 as well as we dive down into turn 3. We know we're going to be maybe racing the 48 as well, maybe the 1 car of Chastain, because the 23 and the 5, I mean, depending on how this plays out, I don't think they're going to be in the equation for the win. I think they've made the wrong call. Ty Gibbs as well in the number 54. Carutha is right on the back of us as well. Hocevar pitted. He's up here in the mix now. You can see the tire advantage playing its role as we're side by side with the 23 down this back straightaway. Gibbs in second on the back bumper of that number 5 of Larson. They all leave the door open. Gibbs says just go for it. We are going to easily be able to pass this the 54, and Larson doesn't even try to defend. We go to the inside. We're bringing the 48 of Carruth and the 4, our teammate of Hocevar, with us into turn 1. We take the lead with less than 20 laps to go in the Coke 600. What a race it has been. Certainly one for the memory books as we head down this back straightaway. And now it's about managing this gap to the 48. Carruth is right there stalking me, and so is the 4 of Hocevar as we approach 16 laps to go. Larson and them, they're not far away from having to pit under green flag conditions. We were still about a lap short. We hadn't saved any fuel at this point in time, so that was something I was keeping in mind. We were actually, to be specific, we were about 3/4 of a lap short on fuel, so we were going to have to save, but we can't just give up track position to Carruth and the 4 of Hocevar, so I was keeping that in the back of my mind. Blaney crashes, tire gives way in turn 3, and his horrific luck with great speed continues. Caution is out again, and that strategy does not work for the likes of Larson and others. Everyone back to the pits to top up on fuel, but I am going to make an audible. I know the AI around me are going to take no tires. The ones that just pitted, we're going to take right sides, give up some track position, but put an advantage into our field. We're down to P8. We are going to have to drive through this grid. Larson and others that didn't pit originally and pitted right there had to take 4 tires. They drop further back and out of the battle for the win. We're racing again, and up front it's Carruth and Hocevar. Your front row, Zayden Smith up here in the mix. Chandler Smith, the Smiths are all up here. Chastain, Christian Eckes, Briscoe as well. Byron, how about Taylor Gray in the 55 for Tricon? What a wild Coke 600 has been. I put Chastain in a really vulnerable position, and we pounce and take advantage now. We're not going to make it easy on him. He's proven to not make it easy on us as I grind the wall a little bit into turn 3. Chastain, maybe a bit of karma. He gets back to my inside and passes me without any issues now as we're all over the back of the 12. We are going to be aggressive. We know we have an advantage here. I really wanted to have an advantage for this run. I feel like that's going to be a difference maker because I was dead even with the 48 and the 4, and I just didn't feel like I had enough comfortable pace in the car to really fight those guys. Now 3 wide to the outside. Now Byron will get clear as we head down into turn number 3, right behind that 6 of Eckes in that buildsubmarines.com machine. We continue to go nowhere, but I'm not giving this one up. Coming to 10 to go. We'll get alongside the 6 and the 1, 3 wide across the stripe for P7 and P6. Now down the back straightaway, we're going to get through on this 98 into turn 3. Not quite clear though into the corner, so got to leave him that lane. Chastain forced it there and he had to back out. That helps me. Up into the top 5. Carruth still leads over Hocevar. Now Byron and Elliott, our next targets, and we get to the inside of that number 9 with 9 laps to go. We clear the 9 out of turn 2. Now into the back of the 24 to the inside, and we are using this 2-tire advantage to our advantage. We are just absolutely flying and ripping through this grid. We'll pass the 24 to the inside of the 4 of Hocevar. We have, of course, talked about it earlier. We have marked it on our goals for the season to win all the crown jewels we haven't won. We've only won the Daytona 500. The Coke 600 is the first one of this season that we haven't won, and then we want to win the Brickyard 400 and the Southern 500 all this season. The Coke 600 has become a real potential win here as we head into turn 1 on lap 134. 7 laps to go, and Rajar Carruth has been in this position multiple times in the last half a season or so, and it looks like it might not work out again as we get to the inside down the back straightaway. He doesn't have much to fight with into turn 3, and we are going to take the lead of the Coke 600 again with less than 10 laps to go. Carruth tries to fight, but he doesn't have enough as we exit turn 4. We have seen so many cautions in this race. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw another before this race is over, but we take the lead with 6 laps to go into turn 1. Now we'll try to drive away from that 48 Microsoft Cadillac. Huge crash into the outside wall. Gibbs blows the tire, head-on impact, and it was a massive impact. Caution is out, and that will force a late race restart. It's going to be 3 laps to go. What a race this has been. I think this has been 40 plus minutes of content, pure entertainment, and I hope you guys have enjoyed, because it comes down to a 3-lap sprint, a caution-filled 600. We are back green once again. Can we win our second crown jewel of our Cup Series career now? We know we have the advantage. Does that caution, though, equalize the advantage that we had over everybody in front of us? I'm going to hope not. We clear the competition through 1 and 2. Hocevar, our teammate, into second in that Reese's number 4 Cadillac down this back straightaway. Closing is that number 4. We're going to throw a block to make sure he can't get there. As we go into turn 3, Hocevar sends it into the corner. Not enough now. They battle in the background between Carruth, Byron, Chastain, as well as we exit wide. Hocevar gets close, but not close enough now as we hit 2 to go. Now a lap and a half to go down this back straightaway. Mainly just wanting to get back to the white flag. It's been a grueling race here from Charlotte. Caution after caution. Resets. So many resets with those cautions, of course. What a race. White flag is in the air, and we are in control. 2 wins on the season. Looking for 3 already. We had 3 wins last season total after 36 events with Joe Gibbs Racing, and now we're looking to get 3 wins with Junior Motorsports in our first 12 races. The first quarter of the season, Chastain to the inside of Hocevar behind us. We made a brave call to give up track position on the last pit stop for a tire advantage, but it's worked out to perfection. We exit turn 4, and for the second time in our career, we'll win a crown jewel. We win the Coca-Cola 600. Unbelievable race here from Charlotte, and we get to burn it down for the 3rd time this season. 2nd in the Indy 500, the best we've seen from a NASCAR driver, and now a Coke 600 win. 3 wins in the first 12 races of the season. That is 25% of the season that we have won so far. Unbelievable start with Junior Motorsports, and we continue it into Charlotte. What a race. I mean, just probably by far the most chaotic Coke 600 we have seen in this career mode from start to finish. I mean, we just never got to get some true green flag racing. It felt like it was just all over the place. But Chastain, Byron, Hocevar, Briscoe's your top 5. Carruth drops to 6 at the end. Chandler Smith, Larson, Eckes. How about Taylor Gray there just outside the top 10? SVG in P15. Hyman 18th over Logano. Parker Retzlaff, your Talladega winner, who's trying to claw his way into the top 30 in points to make the playoffs in the top 20. Zilic just never rebounded. He never recovered in 31st. Kyle Busch in 32nd. Some big names there a lap down as we look at the playoff grid following this race. And like I said, continue to rule out Christian Eckes. So that means the last driver in the playoffs is Rajah Caruth over Hocevar, Buscher, Kyle Busch, and Chandler Smith as well. Blaney just inside the playoffs right now, as well as his teammate of Tyler Reddick. Zilic as well gave up so many points on what was such a promising night. Never seen such a downfall for such a dominant car. Next episode, Martinsville. We've won there before. The site of our first career win with Colleague Racing. I think we can go get win number 4 on the season next episode. I will see you guys then. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.